All right. Welcome everyone to another episode of Modern Wong Chat, where I deep dive into different topic with my friends. Just mostly having a chit chat for an hour. Today is our first episode of the week. We're actually going to have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday episode now because of everything that's going on. So, I just want more content and also talk to you all more and enjoy this kind of little chit chat with my friend. Anyway, today we have Dayeanne Hutton on the show. She's a great friend of ours. And you know what? I'm just let her talk more about herself instead of me trying to explain what she is. Um, so, welcome, Day. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. I'm doing as well as one can do, I suppose.
Because
How about
you're
yourself?
also in the LA area, right?
I am in LA.
So you're also kind of like me. You're kind of stuck.
Yeah. I mean, we've taken some walks around the neighborhood, but other than that, we're pretty in place.
hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I haven't even walked outside yet because I think it's illegal. Like I mean, I don't. I think okay. I think taking a walk is actually legal. I forgot what is illegal. Like I think it's hanging out with friends or something. Like.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. It gets very like what is frowned upon versus what's like actually not allowed right now.
Mhm.
Um, but I know you can still like go outside for a walk as long as you're not like in a large group of people walking together, I suppose.
Because even they're not sure as well. I've seen them talk about it. I've seen them, like they don't know how to enforce it. I have heard people are getting fined for it. So I hope I don't, get ticket
Yeah,
if I yeah.
I would
Like
assume that like if you went to the beach,
mhm,
and like hung out, you'd get a fine.
yeah.
But if you're just like strolling through your neighborhood, taking a walk and going home, you're fine.
Like I was supposed to be on my friend's podcast on last Friday and
Mhm.
we were planning to do this like in person as well.
Yeah.
But but yeah, that's we kind of changed that a little bit because of this whole coronavirus situation.
Yep. I just started a podcast as well, and me and my
Ooh.
co-host usually get together to record. And we were supposed to get together yesterday, and we were like, you know what? I think we're gonna have to figure out how to do this remotely, and so we did.
Mhm.
And we'll see. It's not my preferred way to do it, but
Mhm. Yeah,
we'll
I
see
I
how it
mean,
works out.
I thought about this too because I feel like in person seem to be more intimate kind of feeling.
Hmm.
But all my guests and friends are all over the place. I think except one or two guests so far, they're all actually local in LA. So I'm not sure why I am doing this remotely. But it's a good format, because again, I have
It is.
friends from all over the place. So hopefully,
Yeah, it
yeah.
definitely works, especially since you're doing it on stream. It works really well this way.
Hmm. Anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself. Technically, because I'm even not completely familiar. I kind of like I met you through our mutual friend Kate, my housemate, and but also in the same times like oh I kind of know what she does. We hang out a few times, but you do so many things because I know you for one thing, and I'm sure same for you as me too. Like maybe me for as a photographer, but I do so many things as well. But not
Yeah,
about me. Tell me about
yeah.
you.
Okay, so, hi guys. Dayeanne Hutton here. I'm an actress as well as a streamer. I stream on Twitch full time, and like about 5 days a week. I do that, and we play a variety of games. I was a voice actor in a video game, which is what launched my streaming career. I'm the voices of Kate Marsh, Alyssa, and Juliet in The First Life is Strange. And other than that, I also have a podcast that I just started called Gaming and Gabbing. And I dabble in cosplay and I just try and live my best nerdy life.
That's great. So which thing? I mean, out of all the things that you have just listed, what was the first thing that you kind of got started more or more experience in?
Acting. I've been acting my whole life. Yeah, ever
Did you go
since
to
I was a
acting
kid.
school?
I went to Columbia College Chicago and was a theater and performance major.
Oh, okay. Is so. I have a lot of friends who does, acting or they are in the acting space. What do you think about? And this is something I want to know personally as well. Is that how much do you think acting school helps? Because like, okay, let's say me as a
Mhm.
photographer, right? I feel
Mhm.
like I do not need to take, and I did not actually didn't take any class or school for photography. And I think I'm doing all right when it comes to photography. But I'm sure it's very different than other stuff, like for example, engineering or like dance. It's gotta be. I feel like it's definitely different if you haven't taken class or school in that genre, that field. But what about acting?
Yeah. Yes and no is what my response would be. I don't think it's necessary for you to go to college for acting, but it
Hmm.
is 100% necessary to always be in acting classes, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's through a school or not, whether it's just like an acting school.
Mm-hmm.
There are like maybe a few people who are like crazy talented, gifted, like right out of the womb, never studied, but um especially when it comes to like they're just helpful. It's very helpful. It's a muscle. People always say like you always have to
Mm-hmm.
be exercising that muscle, and it's a lot easier to do that in a class. Like whereas you
Mm-hmm.
can practice your photography alone, like
Yeah,
shooting still life. It's really hard to practice acting alone. Like there's stuff you can do, sure, but like you need
because
to
it's
like be
more
with other
interactive,
people.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I definitely do not think you have to go to college to be an actor, but I
Mm.
do think classes are beneficial, if not necessary.
And what about being in LA? Is that also pretty crucial when it comes to, being an actor?
No, I don't think so. There's plenty of people, like, doing great being in the Atlanta market, in Canada, in New York. I have friends from school that stayed in Chicago and are doing just fine. So, it's definitely not necessary as it was like, a long time ago, when it was, like, the only
Only
kind
like
of
big place?
market.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now there's stuff that's popping up all over the country and, and
Mm.
beyond.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done any acting professionally. But I don't know. I feel like always. I mean, I always see productions going on. Like I see because I used to live in downtown, so
Yeah,
I
there's a
walk
lot
by production
happening
all the
there.
time, and I feel like now is the best time for a lot of them to. I mean, it's yes and no. Like now is the best time for everyone to start doing production. I think because there's all these empty places. You can walk around and there's no one gonna interrupt you, and everyone's at home. Like I feel like it's just great. It's just great getting location shot. But also now is a
Yeah, if you don't
horrible
get
time to get.
caught.
Yeah, you don't get caught, but that's kind of hard because you need a whole team to do
Yeah.
productions. So tell me more about your acting stuff. Like, what have you done, or like, what's your favorites? What's like?
Yeah, I'll take you through, like, the greatest hits so far. When I first moved back to LA, I'm from Orange County originally, so I was in Orange County, went to school in Chicago, moved back to LA.
Mm,
I was very fortunate. I got cast in a YouTube web series called Emma Approved.
mhm,
That is a modern adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma,
mm,
and it was uh, created by the same team that created the Lizzie Bennet Diaries the year previous, that had actually won an Emmy for its transmedia storytelling. And then
mhm,
our show ended up winning an Emmy for transmedia storytelling. So it was a really crazy, wild experience that I'm super grateful for. Then the video game, like I said, that I did voices for,
mhm.
that was another great opportunity. And just recently, I'm a part of a fan made teaser trailer for a darker version of Scooby Doo. And I
Yeah,
get to play Velma. And we're
yeah.
currently raising funds to do the first episode. And I'm really excited about all of that.
And you guys are also doing that on Indiegogo as well, right?
Yeah, so the teaser trailer's on YouTube, and then we have an Indiegogo campaign going to help us film the pilot episode. Yeah.
Where can they find that? What do they
Uh,
search?
it's Mystery Incorporated. So
Mm,
if you type Mystery Incorporated into YouTube, it has probably enough hits to come up, but there is a lot of stuff under Mystery Incorporated, so you could probably also just search it in, Indiegogo and find it as well.
It's fun because like all the main cast are all my friends.
Yeah, you know everyone, yeah.
I actually had Chris a few episodes ago.
Oh, that's awesome, he's great, he
Yeah,
just started streaming too.
he did. Yeah. So it's great. Yeah, it's actually look really cool. I saw the teaser that you guys made, and like it's just really cool. I really hope that you guys can make more of it.
Same. It was a lot of fun. We're all huge fans of Scooby Doo. It looks so good. We're just really, really excited to see where we can take it.
Also, whose dog is it?
Whose dog? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So Dade
Uh huh.
got Thor by looking up Great Danes on Instagram.
Oh, wait. So,
He found him on Instagram and then they messaged him asking if like their
uh
dog
huh.
would be willing to be in this project. They pay them as
Huh.
obviously. But I
So
think
they
the dog
hired the
has done
dog
a little
actor.
bit. Yeah, I think the dog has done a little print work
Uh
before
huh.
or something, but
Wow.
this was his first like film kind of thing.
It's because I saw the dog and it's like, wow, that looks really cool. I wonder like who in our friend circle has a dog, and then I'm even more surprised and amazed that he just found the dog and then messaged them. It's like, oh yeah, let's join this. That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Yeah. So he was cast. He was cast off of social media.
Dude, there are
Yeah.
some puppies or kitties that have bigger Instagram followers than most of my friends.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Animals are way cuter than people, come on.
I feel like I'm doing my life wrong. Like my house has two cats. I'm kind of mad because I posted about them two like last week's, and I posted like
I s
four photos. Yeah.
I saw those, they were beautiful, I was like, "Oh, Deku and Faye."
Those pictures are doing so much better than my other photos
Oh my god, that's so
on
annoying.
Twitter. So I'm kind of like, what am I doing with my life? I
It's
should
all
just
about
be
the
a
animal content. Listen, I
right.
follow, what is it? The kitten lady, and her, like, life's work is rescuing kittens and bringing them back to health and adopting them out, so her
Okay.
Instagram's
So
just
she's just
full of, like
cycling through of kitties all the time then.
constantly, like, 1 week to 2-week-old kittens all the time. It's
May
amazing.
maybe that's what I should do. I should
Yeah.
just foster cats or dog or
Just foster
something, but
cats.
in the
Yeah.
meantime, also do like amazing photography with them.
Yes.
Like that would be a great
Yeah. Her
Instagram account.
husband actually is a photographer, or I don't know, her partner is a photographer,
Dang,
and his Instagram is the cat photographer, and he just has amazing photos of cats all the time on his feed.
doing my
So
life wrong.
it's a
Why did
viable option.
why did I did portraits? I should have just went for puppy and kitties. Yeah,
Animal portraits.
animal portraits. I mean, there's actually people that would pay good money to for doing animal portraits. They pay more than they would do family portraits. Because family portrait, they might just go to like a shopping mall or something, go to like
Sears.
picture people, Sears or something. I have actually done one of them before. I actually work for, is it JC Penney? I think it's one of those.
Oh my
I
gosh,
think it's
I
JC
love
Penney.
this.
I did it just to see how it's like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I only worked there for like a week until I quit. It
You
was
just like,
really
"Hey."
frustrating. And then
I
I
can
worked
imagine.
I worked there for picture peoples as well for like a month. Just see how it's like. And most of the job when you're doing like picture people, it's not for those of you who do not know, picture people is like a chain that they do photography, mostly family portraits or high school senior portraits, that kind of stuff at the shopping mall. They have a store, a series of stores. Um, but most of the time, and I actually didn't even get to take a single photo while I was working there. Um,
Wow, what were you doing?
because when you first go in, you don't learn about photography. Then when you first go in, all you do is sales.
Oh, that's annoying.
So it's about me selling how to like different photos package and then all the other stuff. And then like I'm pretty sure from that experience I learned not to work with the intern when you're buying something because I'm pretty sure I could save people so much more money if I know what I was doing. But I did not know what I was doing, especially the first week. Because they have like a series of kill point code. and like
Uh,
you can like chain putting them in like one after another. And I'm pretty sure I miss some of them sometimes. So I mean, I might be a great employee because I'm making them a lot of
yeah,
money.
I was gonna say they probably. I mean, the owners probably loved you.
Yeah, they're probably like, oh, this guy's doing really well compared to the other new guys. Like, yeah, because I am messing up a lot. But but yeah, so it's mostly about just how to sell photos, and I'm like, I ain't about that life. The funny thing is that one of the guys that works there actually hired me to take his picture somewhere else. He's in a band, and he asked me to take his band photos.
Listen, he knew where the quality was. He knew where the
Y-
quality lied.
Yep. So that was actually kind of hilarious. But anyway, back to you. I feel like I'm doing like a news channel. But back to you, Day.
Back
Tell.
to you.
You also did Life is Strange. Tell me about that experience. Like, how you got involved, and how is that like, and how is the gaming space like everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Life is Strange. It's I'm always a little like I feel bad. I feel like my story should be more exciting, but I actually got it just by auditioning. Well, this is probably pretty crazy to some people. I literally recorded my audition like on my phone in my
Wow.
room.
Wait,
Um
you don't even do video, or is it video, or is it just voice?
no, it was just a recording. Like
Oh,
I
really?
opened the Apple like recording app that comes on the phone and just went for it. And I recorded auditions for I think 3 different characters, and I believe it was Max, Victoria, and Kate. And
So,
then
did you
yeah.
know the characters before? Like, cause did they tell you which character you're auditioning when you're doing it, or is it just like random name? Cause like in Hollywood, I know I submit stuff before too. They just gave you a fake name or fake characters or something. Did you
Yeah.
have any background of them before? Or
I'm pretty sure it was all the original names because at this point, no one knew anything about it.
Mhm,
It hadn't come out, there was no hype, there were no fans, so there was no danger of it leaking. I
mhm,
know for the second one, because 'cause I'm friends with some of the voice actors, for the second one, they were
mhm.
given all fake information until they got the job.
Makes
But
sense. Yeah.
I had all the information because it wasn't out in the
Mhm.
world yet. And I don't even remember how long it was, but I didn't even do a second recording or anything, and I just got this email that was like, "They want you for Kate Marsh."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Yes, okay." And then when I went in to record the first time, that was when they were like, "Okay, you're actually gonna be recording for 3 different characters," which I instantly started having, like, a panic attack because this was my first voiceover job, and I was like, "Well, I don't know any what other voices am I supposed to do? I can't just what do they mean to other characters?" But the voiceover director was amazing, and he kind of guided me because he knew more about the characters than I did. So he was
Uh-huh.
able to be like, okay, this character is like really tough, like think kind of more masculine and be just
Mhm.
really strong. And so he helped me find the voices.
Like, Life is Strange, the game is a very serious tone game. It deal with a
Mhm.
lot of teenager, high school issues.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I haven't played it, but I've seen it. I've seen my friends play it. Uh, so is it hard? So, tell me more about voice acting because I haven't done voice acting before. A lot of friends want to get like. There's always people want to get into voice acting, like
Yeah.
always. Um, so what is like? How do you practice for voice acting in general?
Um I mean, in terms of just I mean, you can just always be doing silly voices. You can
Uh
always
huh.
be kind of looking at copy, which is what they would call like a script.
Mm-hmm.
And just practicing things, imitating. I've taken classes where I know they've said a really great way to come up with an original character is actually to do your impression of someone, because even if it's
Mm.
not an accurate impression, it you have now created a new character for you.
Mm. 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 Okay.
Even if it doesn't sound accurate to who you're impersonating, now you're just a whole new person. So there's a bunch of little fun things you can do on the side. Obviously, you can take classes. Um, but yeah, I don't do as much as I should with that. I basically just act like an idiot on my streams and will sometimes voice over characters while I'm streaming.
I know some of my friends. Those mainly voice actors, they will actually order food or stuff in us in a specific character voice, especially if they did some like more known characters. Um, Especially video game people. Like I also know like anime people like Goku and Vegeta. It's always fun to do that. So you should try that sometimes. Uh,
Yeah. If I ordered food as Kate Marsh, she would just be sad and people would like wonder.
are you
They'd be like,
okay?
that girl must have just gone through a breakup or something. She is not okay.
How long did you take you to do the recording? And is it like, do you just go in and read a bunch of lines each day, or like is it back and forth or changes?
I didn't have too long of days because comparatively, like, compared to
Of
Hannah,
course.
who was
Mhm.
the main character, she had so many lines.
So
I
many.
actually was done in an hour. We would go in, like,
Mhm.
every other month because they release in 5 episodes, and they released them all separately, so we didn't do it all at
Mm.
once. So every time I would go in, I would only be there about an hour, and in voiceover, you cannot be there longer than 4 hours. So that's, like, the max you'll ever be there.
Is it like a legal thing or like a health thing or an acting
Yeah,
thing?
it's part of our contract just to, like, protect the actors and their voices. They can't be kept because a lot of times, like, think for, like, all the Call of Duties and Halo and all the war stuff, there's so much screaming
Mhm.
and really stressful stuff happening on your voice that you would not wanna be in there for more than
Mhm.
4 hours.
Just like my Dragon Ball Z friends, where they're like Goku and Vegeta just screaming at all times.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't think I want to do that for more than an hour if I was those
exactly.
characters.
Exactly.
Okay. Um. So I know you also stream playing that game a few times too, right?
Yes, I have streamed it several times. I see some of my awesome streamer viewer family in the chat right now. Um, obviously, since it was such a popular game when I started streaming, I started with the game. Therefore, my Twitch audience is cornerstoned off of the Life is Strange community.
Hmm.
So I just have a huge community of people that are really touched by the game, have very strong feelings, and so I do try to play it every once in a while, like replay or do that because I know it gets everyone hyped. As sad as it all is, they love it.
Do you want to do more video games, also voiceover game stuff?
I would love to. I am not currently represented by a video game agent, so
Mhm.
hit me up if you're listening. Um,
Is that a
but
thing? Like
absolutely,
a voice, like or video games agents? Like, do they? I
yeah,
guess. I guess.
yeah.
I mean, every form of acting.
We have yeah, there's an agent for video games, just like commercial and theatrical. We got one for VO.
Can they? So I'm guessing every contract is different, right? But I just want to stress some light on this topic. Do you? So is it like some agent like, oh, you can only touch the contracts, like you can only touch this type of work gigs, or the other one's like, oh well, this person can do the voiceover stuff, the other person can do like web series stuff, or someone do like TV stuff. Do we separate that way?
No, I don't think so. It would be up to the actor to like tell their agent like, "Hey, I'm doing voiceover, but like I don't want to do dubbing." Or,
Hmm.
like other than that, the agent's generally going to submit you for anything they think you're fit for, unless you tell them otherwise.
Okay. Now tell me about the Emmy or Emily approved? Is it Emily?
Emma. Emma
Emma.
approved
Sorry.
that no, because it won an Emmy, so it's
Yeah, that's what
really
I'm saying. I was like,
confusing.
okay, it's like something. I knew there was something that was like
Yeah, yeah,
Emmy, but it's yeah. Anyway, yes.
of course. Yeah, so, I, again, went in for an audition, was so crazy nervous that they was very, very lucky that they let me read a second time.
Wait, what happened? Why?
I was just so here's the thing. I have anxiety and
Uh-huh.
it really flares up in audition situations because you're the one person going into a room of people, you want this job. And this character was literally me. Like it was described as 23-year-old, just out of college, very eager girl next door, awkward but means well. And I was like, this is literally me. I was 23 at the time. I had just graduated college. I am all those things. I had never connected to a character more. And I went in and I did the first read and I just felt how nervous I was. Like it was just a miracle, the words came out of my mouth. And they were like, okay, let's try it one more time. But like, don't be like awkward and scared of her. You're just awkward. Does that make sense? And in my head, I'm like, yes, that's literally me. I like, yes,
So they thought you were
yes.
acting.
I was like, um, the, I was like, okay, calm down. Just be more you. Be just the essence of awkward, and it'll be fine. And so I did the read again, and Bernie Sue, who was the creator, director, kind of main writer on all of this, he told me later that they never even showed him the first take.
Mhm.
Um, they wrote in their notes like she doesn't get this character, and then
Oh.
and then in the next take, I nailed it, and that was the only one they showed him. So that was that's a fun story. But yeah, it like I said, it's a modern adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma. And I played Harriet Smith, who, if you're familiar with Clueless, Clueless is also a modern adaptation of Emma.
Mm.
So my character was basically Ty. So I was taken under the wing and made to be cooler, essentially.
Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing about acting, especially audition. I mean, I feel like a lot of people who are not in this space, they think that, oh, you just do an audition and then there's a good chance you'll get it, and or like at least, but that's not the case. Like majority of time, you just keep submitting audition, 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 and you just send it in and you forget it. Um,
Yeah. And sometimes you're not even getting like a lot of the times you're submitting yourself and not even getting the audition. Like,
yeah. Hmm.
and then you get the audition and then you're submitting the auditions and just hoping for a callback. It's this
Hmm.
it's actors have something missing, some like survival instinct missing in their brains or something that they just it's like they just keep putting their hand in the fire over and over and over again and they're like
Maybe this time I
one
won't
day
get
this
burned.
won't hurt. Yeah,
It sucks,
exactly.
like, and, like, if you're, like, a new actor, actress, like, trying to get in that space, but you always have so much hope the first time you do it, like, "Oh, I feel good about this. I'm gonna get it." Nothing. Completely nothing. And then you do a few more times, still nothing, like, it hmm, it's kinda heartbreaking in the beginning because like, you kinda have such a hope, but you still have to
Yeah,
maintain it because you know it's nothing personal. It's
it's
always
not.
just
Yeah,
there's so many factors that can affect it, you know? It could be like, oh, they needed a different type of person, or, that's
yeah.
not even the budget is not looking for. There's so many different things that can.
I've even heard I've had, like, teachers and mentors be like, when it gets to TV and when you're auditioning, after you've gotten approval by, like, the people like, the
Mm.
director and the casting director, then you have to get approval by the executives who, like, all they do is have the money, and
Yeah.
I've heard them be like, "You might look like their ex-boyfriend, and they might hate that, and you won't get it." Like, so sometimes it is and, like, that's not even personal, that's their issue, but, like,
Hmm.
is it a fair issue? No, but it
Hmm.
happens.
Oh, that would be weird, you know? It's like, yeah, I didn't get it. Why? I look like their ex.
But you won't even know. You won't even
Yeah.
know why you didn't get it
Oh, yeah,
unless you're
exactly.
friends
Hmm.
with the casting director or something and they tell you and you're like, "Well, dang, that sucks."
Yeah, that's why I wanted to be a casting director. So I could be mean sometimes and tell people I don't like them because of their face.
It's their face I don't like. But now you're
Yeah.
a photographer and you can be like, "I don't like you because of your
Oh, if I
face."
say that, I would get people would try to cancel me. And people take it so personally. That's the problem. That's why like Hollywood, like actor and actress are better, but working with influencer was is actually harder. Like
I'm
I
sure it is.
yeah, like I'm streaming editing sometimes now. And I
Mhm.
was actually doing an edit the on Sunday, I think, where I did from beginning to end, like editing from scratch, complete scratch. So you can
Yeah.
see like all the imperfection they have and kind of stuff. But the person I edited was a model.
Uh-huh.
So that's a very normal thing. Model are
Yeah.
okay being seen. But I realized that I can't really do that with non-model friends. Like if they're influencer, they're very particular and cautious about those kind of things.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna be
So,
like, "No, no, no, I always look like that. You didn't
yeah.
fix anything."
Yeah, my skin's always great, and people will leave comments like, "Oh my god, your models are always so pretty." And I'm like, "They are, but I also spend 2 hours on this, so."
But also, I'm talented.
But, like, here's the thing, like, nobody is perfect. That is the
No,
reality. That's the thing.
absolutely not. Are you
But
kidding? And, like, I will say that, and I stream all the time, like, people can see me, but yeah, when I edit my photos, sometimes I'll take out the dark circles in my under my eyes because
mhm,
I don't like them. It's not that I won't tell you I have them, but I
which is
would rather
fine.
see me in a photo without them.
Yeah. And I actually just made a new video. I recorded, what, last night, and I'm uploading and sending to my editor. She's actually editing it right now. And it's about, can you be a content creator? Like, can you be a full-time content creator? Because that's kind of what I am now, and maybe you as well, because you stream every day.
Yeah.
Um, because like now a lot of us are stuck at home, right? So we see a lot of content. Like, oh, that's what people do for a living. I want to do that,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
it's
I've
not that
actually
easy.
I've actually, like I feel this pressure to create even more now that
hmm
everyone's home and being creative. I'm like, oh, well, since I was already doing something when they were doing nothing, now that they're doing something, I need to do even more. And I'm like, no, no, no. Just keep doing what you were doing. It's fine. You don't need to stress out.
It's tough. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I thought it'd be easier that it's actually not like easier that I'm stuck at home, but I actually have to change my schedule a lot now. Like, I need to start a new routine. Unpredictability, like I'm not able to predict what I was doing was a great way because things are always coming, so showing up and happening. But now things
Oh,
are not
yeah.
happening, so it's kind of actually tough.
It's
It's
easier
trickier.
for you to like put things off when you're like, well, I have all this time.
Yeah, I used to like I actually made a few videos talking about this. I was supposed to, on average, go to one convention every other week
Oh
this
my
year,
God.
but that's not the case anymore.
No, not
Yeah,
at
I
all. I
I
didn't
gotta
even
pick.
know there were that many conventions.
There's
Well,
so many.
but cause you work this is how I met you when Kate was working for you. You have, like, apps? You own
Mhm.
apps?
Yep. So I've made an apps, which I'm also putting on pause now because of all this happening.
Yeah.
And I also work with influencer cosplayer, where company hire me to hire them. So I
Mm.
do different marketing campaign with them.
Kind of
Uh,
like a influencer manager?
yeah, it's kind of like
Okay.
that. Yeah, but we also do not just the influencer side. I also work with the company to see like, all right, how can we do this campaign that will make sense for them as well?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
right now we're shifting. I'm shifting it so that we're doing more stuff. See, we can do online activations. That kind of stuff.
Very
Having
cool.
having cosplayer make a costume, maybe stream it, do some photos at home.
I
Oh
know Twitch
yeah.
is ripe for, like they the influencer market needs to tap in. Like, I
hmm
keep trying to, like, be like, "I'm on Twitch, like, I'll work with you," but, like, they
hmm
don't get it yet.
Yeah, they still don't. Like I have friends who are making so much money, but they couldn't get a loan to buy a house or even pay rent. Which not pay rent, but like apply for rent applications. Like
Okay.
Like, they were like, "I can't just come in and give you my whole year's worth of rent." And they're like, "Well, we need proof of income." I'm like, "No, this is I have a bag of money." They're like, "No, we need proof of income." And then they show them, like, Twitch, and they're like, "Well, that's not work." I'm like, "Can you see this number that I'm making, like, 10, 20 grand a month?" But still like, "No, you have no proof of income." It's like,
That's weird. Yeah, it's a crazy time. It's
it
crazy
is.
times we're living in.
It is. But hopefully this might change things a little bit.
Yeah, especially if you are someone that works with companies and influencers and you are absolutely knowledgeable about Twitch, you can start bringing that
Mhm.
in more and more.
So, how long have you been streaming?
I've been streaming for 2.5 years.
Do you have some idea on how to grow on stream?
Um, yes and no. I'm an anomaly
Uh-huh.
because I came in with this fan base from Life is Strange. The very first stream I ever did on Twitch had like 300 people watching,
Damn.
which is like not a thing.
Yep.
I
Normally,
in
my
fact
stream has less than 10.
Yeah, I've in fact, like, dropped since I
Mhm.
started. Because when I first started, it was like I was
Ooh.
probably one of the first Life is Strange actors to stream. Like they really wanted to see this content. It was closer to the game. And then so like it was this huge thing. And like as it's gone by and it's kind of gotten further and further away from the game, now there's tons of voice actors that stream.
Mhm.
It's been then I've had to look at, okay, how do I keep growing or keep this from kind of like
Momentum,
sinking
yeah.
backwards? Yeah. Um, definitely networking is a huge thing in terms of
Mhm.
meeting other streamers, being a part of other people's communities, because having support from other people's communities where they can raid you or host you or just like shout you out is so huge, having that support. Because like if I shout someone out, my community knows that I support them and I trust them and I like advocate for that person. So they know like this is
Mhm.
probably a good streamer if Day recommends them. So let me go follow them.
Mm.
So you need to build those relationships.
And I
And
think being
then yeah.
LA kinda helps. That's the weird part because, like, a lot of us that work in that industry is in this area. Even
Mhm.
though everything we do is outside of this area, like, we're doing online or, like, somewhere else, like, there's some friends that I see them only at event, only at conventions, even though we
Mhm.
live in the same city.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah.
again, like, I tell friends all the time too, like, some of us got lucky. We have our established fan base from something else, and then we
Mhm.
brought it over, and that kind of worked. So there's no secret formula per
Yeah.
se. I wish there
It's
is.
it can definitely be streaming can definitely be a grind. I mean,
Mm.
like I said, community and like networking, being consistent so that you like a TV show that people know they can tune in. They're like,
Hmm.
oh yeah,
The schedule, yeah.
Martin's on Tuesdays at 7. That's right. I mean, I gotta check in. Where they're not like relying on updates and posts from you.
Hmm.
Having, I think, like just bringing something that's uniquely you is
Hmm.
very helpful to getting followers. I don't know. I mean, let me see. Teddy Bear and Rainbow and Jake are all in chat. Like, what makes you guys keep following someone? Like, I like asking my community too. Like, what
Uh-huh.
makes you want to hang out with the streamer? And for me, I like sticking around streams where it's like positive vibe, super friendly chat. Everyone like welcomes me in even though I'm new, and
Hmm.
it's like just like a nice space. Um and I have a lot of fun there. But it can be a grind.
Oh, it is. Like, actually, is more tiring for me to stream than it is to do like interactions because I'm an extrovert. You
Okay.
sound more like an introvert for me, I'm guessing.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm an extrovert. It's actually extremely tiring for me to stream as when there's not a lot of people. If there's a lot of people, great. But when I'm doing like recording, like my own YouTube videos, or when I'm doing stream, if there's not lots of people there, so because I feel like I'm talking into the void, and
Yeah, definitely. And that's something too, like entirely different, because that's just like you're putting out all this energy and not getting any response backs. You
Mhm,
don't know, you can't judge it how it's going. Um, I know, for example, my fiance, he has been grinding for kind of he kept he didn't get consistent with it until maybe the last year, but he's been streaming the same amount of time as I have about, and
mhm,
he only just started getting like big views. For the
mm,
longest time, it was like 20 people was a good day. And like it's hard, but he just kept tweaking things and trying new stuff and rebranding until something like clicked into place that was right for him and right for the viewers and all
mm,
that.
yeah. And you just also, speaking of which, you just got married, right?
Nope, and just got engaged.
Engaged. Okay,
Yeah.
congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are
Thank
you
you.
are you gonna? So have you planned the wedding stuff yet?
I have. We actually found our venue and booked
Hmm.
it like days before
This
all
whole
hell
thing.
broke loose on planet Earth. So so we have a wedding venue.
Uh huh.
I'm in the process of booking the photographer, but that's as far as it's gone. So
Is it next year or this year?
next year, next April.
Okay, okay.
So far,
Because if
like
it's
fingers
this,
crossed.
yeah, because like this year, it's like it's too uncertain. It's like,
No,
yeah,
not definitely a 2021 kinda
yeah.
event.
Hopefully, everything will be back to more normal by then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
we got time. If everyone just stays inside and listens, everything will be back to normal.
Yeah. Have you seen the news about those Florida kids for spring break?
No, I have not.
So a lot of college kids went to Florida for spring breaks, right?
Right.
A lot
Yeah,
of
I heard
local
about
too.
that.
Yep. And then they, of course, got tested for positive for
So stupid.
coronavirus. And
So stupid.
now I feel like Florida is a very scary place to be in.
Correct.
It's all the coastal city, like New York, California, or states, got California, New York, and Florida, because that's where people
I
come
know,
in. But
but it's interesting though. Is it because it's coastal or is it because they're all huge like hubs?
but they're
Like,
also huge hub because they're coastal cities, so it's kind of
right, right, right.
like that's why
Like,
San Francisco is also got hit, with the
yeah,
cruise and everything.
yeah. And we might not know, like, they're just also more newsworthy. Like, who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe like all hell could be breaking out in Maryland, but like,
some small city you never heard of the name.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Like, I don't know what would. I've never heard Maryland in the news report, so who knows?
or like a lot of middle states, like somewhere in Louisiana, or I mean Louisiana's still pretty good, but like there's some states in the middle. You're like, yeah, Ohio. I was like, okay, cool.
I
Like
know.
some,
I have lots of family in Ohio, so I would know about Ohio if something was going on.
but for me here in California, it has to be pretty big. Like the pipeline broke. It's like, oh, okay, with the water. Then like,
Yeah,
okay, now I know.
yeah. The news is not great at telling us everything.
Oh yeah, no. Um, hopefully everything's will be better. But
It's
so
gonna be great.
yeah, you do acting, streaming, anything else? What's your other stuff?
I just started at the beginning of the year a podcast with
Mm,
a fellow actress, streamer friend of mine, Amber Plaster.
mm.
We started a podcast called Gaming and Gabbing, where we hang out, talk about our favorite video games. We talk about tabletop gaming. We have a guest once a month that's involved in the industry somehow. And we just, chat and cause general mayhem.
So with the whole shift, how are you doing your podcast now then? 'Cause
We just recorded yesterday the
uh-huh.
first not in the same place podcast, and we used Discord. We got on Discord video chat, and we each recorded our own on our own computers,
Okay.
our own conversation. She's currently in the process of editing it, the angel that she is,
Uh-huh.
because we release on Wednesdays.
Ooh. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
you can do it similar to what I do too, just record the whole thing on, I mean, is it better to record individually?
All my friends that have been doing podcasts for years all said to record it individually,
Oh, in
but
case you need to separate it?
yeah.
I mean, it's not
So,
hard. You can just in any program, just like do a clap, kind of connect and
yeah, we
everything.
clapped. We did
Yeah.
claps.
But so I was editing my own videos now, and I don't know why it took so long for them to realize that's a feature. You can actually sync up your audio from different clips just with one click now, without even manually doing it.
Hmm,
So it's so
alright.
easy. So yeah.
I have very, like, remedial editing skills both with podcasts and videos. Like, I can make stuff happen, but I'm no expert.
And its audio is easier unless you want to add in some special sound effects or something. Or
Sometimes I do that. I
okay.
personally like to add in a little zhuzh when I'm editing just because I have a lot of fun doing it, but
Hmm. That's
but
good.
yeah, so we have the podcast. I edit some of my streams to put on my own YouTube channel. I have my Instagram because I am, as they say, a quote unquote a micro influencer. So
At which point is not a micro? Is that like a such thing as macro influencers?
I don't know.
Is it just micro then influencer then celebrities?
I think so. And I think micro is like 10 to 50,000. I'm not sure.
I don't. They keep changing. Like
It
every.
does, it
Yeah.
does.
Like.
I don't know. I just want like, for a while, I was starting to get paid brand deals, and it was amazing,
Uh-huh.
and then they just died, and I'm like, "God, just 20 bucks, guys, like, I work from home, just give me 20 bucks to post about this."
I have friends who have really small followings, and either they have an agent or they're on some kind of list. They keep getting brands deal, or they keep getting a lot of PR packages.
It is very easy to get free stuff. It is much
Yes.
harder to get paid
It,
because,
it's
like,
weird too. Yeah, it's like you
I'm
can
s
hit a certain
yeah.
point. Then like I'm at that point. I feel like I get a lot of free stuff, but not enough to be like, how about pay me?
Yeah, yeah. I'm on a few like, there's a lot of websites where it's like, search for brand deals,
Mhm,
match up with someone because, like, I always obviously, I'm, like, looking at this as, "Oh, I can make money doing this. I work from home, but also I wanna support products that actually mean something to me, like, I'm not just gonna
mhm,
be posting willy-nilly." Um, and those websites have both paid and unpaid, but it's like I never get accepted for the paid ones. I'm like, "God,
mhm.
come
Yeah.
on, guys."
I saw
But
one recently
yeah.
too. I was really excited. I was like, this one is I don't remember it's pay or not. It might be pay, but also it's like it's a whole trip, like a vacation trip too. It's like, okay, okay, I can make content. But I think the only requirement for me is that you need to have like a significant other. I'm like,
Oh.
all right, if I do get this deal, I'm gonna have someone pretend to be my girlfriend for a bit. Someone being my beer, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I was supposed to there's a company that, uh, offers people, like, free like, 2-day stays in hotels to kind of, like, get the hotels out there and known about, but of
Hmm.
course, like, I was supposed to do something with them, like, this month, and obviously that's
Hmm.
not happening. We're not going anywhere right now.
Like I was supposed to be in Hong Kong right now because
Oh my goodness.
that was supposed to be like a. It's not something special. It's not work. It's just a family trip because it's just like the quiet. Like I might actually have this month free if it wasn't for the coronavirus. Because after that, it's gonna be nonstop conventions and events.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna go from 0 to 60.
Yeah, but because of this whole thing happened, and it's ironic because my parents and I were planning to go back together as well. And it was like, oh, cool, we'll go back on trip. And then we saw the whole coronavirus. It's like, oh, maybe not a good time to go to Asia.
Yeah.
But now it's actually safer to go to Asia or at least Hong Kong and Singapore than it is here. And I was still not going back because like if you go to Hong Kong, at least in Hong Kong, they send out notice if you're coming back from like I think it's US and England and some other Europe countries, you have to be quarantined for 14 days.
Oh, yeah, so now,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can't get in there.
So it's the
That's
opposite. It's like, wow.
what a switch of a turn of events.
Right? And then I think like the CEO of like the Chinese Amazon, I forgot what company it's called. I think they're donating like masks to China to America.
Yeah. I did see some posts of, like, people now in China
Hmm.
donating masks and gloves to the, like, people in the health working in the health field here, and
So
I
I'm
was
like,
like, "Oh my god,
huh, how that kind of turn?
what a switch. What
What a
a
switch.
switch."
Working a switch. Have you been playing Animal Crossing?
No, I have not. This is like a s this is I've developed, like, a Animal Crossing, just because you're on Twitch, you go on,
Hmm.
I look over here, at least half the
Everyone.
people I'm following right now are playing, and it's been like that since it came out. And I didn't play it as a kid, so I don't
Hmm.
have any nostalgia wrapped up in it.
Hmm.
To me,
Neither do
I'm
I.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm obsessed with Stardew Valley.
You were
It
playing
just
this just before the stream, weren't you?
I
I
was.
saw you.
I was playing Stardew Valley before we streamed, but,
Isn't that just Animal Crossing but more farming?
it's a very similar thing. It's very similar, which is why I'm like, "Well, I have Stardew. I don't really have $60 for another version of this," but
Hmm.
I'm slowly getting more and more and more tempted to buy Animal Crossing, um, especially now, one of my really good friends who is stuck in Florida right now, who has
Mhm.
been in Florida since December, who I really miss, just got Animal Crossing, and I want to like I know you can visit each other's islands and like
Yeah,
hang out and write each other messages. And so now I really want it and I'm like, "Dang
that's how
it."
they get you.
I
That's how they
know.
get you, don't let them. No, like, yeah, my Kate just got it, and then my other housemate just got a Switch and a game, literally just, like, half an hour ago,
Mm.
and I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna fall into this island survivor game."
I'm gonna fall into it, and I'm so sorry. Like I know I shouldn't, but I think I will fall into it.
It's a weird thing for buying game this day because at the same time, like, I'm really conflicted. I'm not really a gamer, but if I was a gamer, or I mean, I'm not a hardcore gamer,
Mhm.
but if I was more of a gamer than I am right now, I would have be such a conflict about buying games because $60 is a lot of money, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's not that much compared to how in the past, like, what, 30, 40 years, video games, maybe not, maybe 20 years, the last 20 years, video games price hasn't really increased that much in comparison. And like
Interesting.
wages and everything seems to have gone up and everything. But think about it this way, like when you used to buy a game, it was like 30 to $40. And like
Yeah.
60 is still kind of new. Like normally games are like $50, like 49.95 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of an increase, but we definitely have huge increase in like how the games are like, how they're developed, how they're made,
Yeah.
team size, and how much hours you spend on it compared to a movie ticket. Like remember, movie ticket used to be like $7.
Yeah, those were the days.
Now it's like 15 minimum, so
Yeah.
double. But
At
video
least if you
games,
live in LA, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
In
So
other parts of the country, there's still a normal price.
I need like gas prices, yeah,
Yeah, just like gas prices. That's why I got me and, my fiancé got
huh.
the, AMC A+ Plus membership
The little
because
like pass kind of
yeah,
thing,
it's like
yeah.
20 bucks for the month, and you can see up to 3 movies a week, and so
How's it like now
basically
then? Now that we can't go to theater.
oh, they suspended it right now. They're not
Oh,
charging
okay.
anyone. They sent out an email, which I thought was really cool. They're freezing all accounts,
Mm,
and they're not charging anyone until people can go back to the movie theaters.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Even Wonder Woman has postponed the
Oh,
movie.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, I
I
think it
mean,
was
makes
on.
sense.
I think it was announced today. Like they are postponing a lot of movie. My other housemate were saying that if this keep going, Sonic might be the best movie of the year because it's the only movie of the year. I wonder how would that affect like Oscar and all those stuff. It's
There
Oscar
would
movie,
just
right?
be less movies to choose from, I suppose.
I guess.
When was
Unless
Wonder Woman supposed to come out?
I'm gonna guess around this time, if not next month. But they're
Okay.
moving it to August
Yeah.
at least.
Okay.
So I don't
Yeah, I
know.
know a bunch of stuff is coming, like, to streaming services early, like yeah,
Frozen
Frozen
2,
and
maybe other
all that
stuff.
jazz.
I don't know. Like I I think this whole Mulan got postponed. Yeah, Mulan got postponed too. Yeah. And I'm not sure how this is gonna change because let's say we do go back to normal, like health wise, everyone can go to work, go back to office, go to theaters. But because of a few months, hopefully not a few months, but it's few weeks of us doing this, I wonder if that's gonna change like company structures and everything. Because people can just work from home or like, some are essential, some are not.
Yeah, I really think I think it would be a nice change if companies realized that a lot more people could work from home,
Mhm.
um, because I think that would be a lot easier on people, like, to cut out the commute, you
But
know?
some
Like
people can, some people cannot. Like I have done jobs that I was remote. I have done jobs that were at office, and now I am, a freelancer. So mostly I'm working from home. And I
mhm,
made a Twitter post as a joke like a few weeks ago. I was saying, well, 2 weeks. Again, days kind of merge now, days and
they're
weeks,
all one.
right? I saw a post today too. It's like, oh, today is Tuesday, or as we now call it, day. But every day is
Yes.
the same. But yeah, I was making a joke saying that some of you have never worked from home, and it shows. I just saw like another video post today. Someone was because they're doing Zoom. So Zoom, I feel like Zoom is making a lot of money. It's a platform that
Uh-huh.
people
Yeah,
do like meetings.
if honestly, if you had stock in Zoom, you're
Yeah,
doing great right
your stock's going zoom zoom, man.
now.
Uh, Like, no, but some people were, like, having their kids around, some of them have their, like, significant other walking around, some people walking around, like, without clothes, and some women even bring their whole laptop into the restroom where she's peeing. I'm like, "Oh, she must not understand how this work or something," like, yeah. So, it's taking some people has to get used to it. They have to understand kinda how it works.
Yeah, and definitely like yeah, getting organized and structuring your at-home days is definitely important. I know you can set timers and there's
Mhm,
different apps I think you can use that help you like will they'll like put little reminders of like
mhm,
drink
mhm.
water or like take a break or whatever. That's something I have a hard time with as someone that works from home.
I
I
what
have
I
a hard time taking breaks. Like I'll just keep going
oh, yeah. Mhm. Like,
and
my
then burn
eating
out.
schedule is, like, a mess, of course. Yeah, like, my room is pretty good, like, I have separate so my room is, like, 2 room you came here before. My room
Yeah.
is 2 room in 1 room. So, my
Okay.
work office is gonna be all on one side, and my non-work room, which is my bedroom kinda thing, where my bed is, like, the other room. So, I try to making sure I separate between the 2, like, anything work related has to be on this side, anything
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
relaxing, that
having
side.
a very specific space for your work is really important. I actually we moved my streaming setup. It used to be in the main house because our house
Mm,
is like a two-bedroom, one bath, and then there's a separate garage that was before we lived here converted. So it's like
mhm,
all walled and insulated and painted and whatnot. And so we moved my streaming setup into the separated garage because what
uh-huh,
would happen is I would stream and then I would turn the stream off and then I'd immediately be like, okay, and now I'm gonna put this on YouTube and I'm gonna do this thing and I would do this and my fiance would be like, stop, like you need to like stop working, like and I was like, no,
mhm.
because it was in the house and it's like when I was at the house, I was also at the office, so I was always working.
Mm. It's so hard for us content creator to stop working.
Yeah.
I know it sounds
Also,
like, oh, it's like a weird brag, it's like, "Oh, I can't stop working,"
no,
but
it's so true. Literally before this, to tie this in with our Animal Crossing conversation, right
mhm,
before this, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to get Animal Crossing. I think I'm going to do it. I really just want to play it. And then I was like, but shouldn't I stream it? Wouldn't streaming it
yes.
be smarter? Wouldn't it be
Mhm.
smarter to do this on stream? And then the other side's like, no, damn it, just do it for fun. You can still do things for fun.
We can't because everything that we do is like, "That is great," but what if it's content?
Yeah,
And,
I know.
like, one of the good points so it's still fresh in my mind because I recorded that videos about, being a content creator, is that doing content creation is not an easy way out. Some people think it's that
No.
way. It's not. And most of the time, it's actually more work than a regular 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Um, like there's no Saturday and Sunday for me. Sometimes when things show up, it's like, oh, I have to do this now. Then now's the time because it's
Yeah.
trend or opportunity show ups. Like let's say your client suddenly say, oh yeah, hey, we have this activation on Saturday. We'll pay you $1,000. It's like, I guess I'm working today then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's yeah.
it's hard. It's and so yeah, anyone that's watching, if you want to be a content creator, really just think about it first. Like
Yeah.
it's not something that's
It's
easy.
hard too because of like you get you get creativity blocks, just like
Mhm.
writer's block. And like
Mhm.
I will just what happens to me is I get into this pattern of I work really hard, I burn myself out, and then I like reject all work and I don't want to do anything.
And we don't
And
have like a guaranteed paycheck.
oh, certainly not. No.
Like I wish that we do, but we don't. So it's even worse. And the things that was hard, like we have to figure out how do we balance between um, one like you put in 1 hour work doesn't mean you get 1 hour of paycheck.
Right.
Keep
Yeah,
doing
it's
things
like
and hoping it works.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like I'm always thinking about my Twitch channel and like what could I be doing? Should I be doing something different? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And then stressing out is like making me less watchable because I'm so focused on this or that. And it's like, oh my God. Just have fun, but also be really business smart about having fun.
Hmm. And it's kind of tied back to what I said about editing people's skin and taking it personally. and sometimes we can't help to take it personally as well because our work is about us and us is the
Yes.
work.
Yes. Yes. It's so hard sometimes to be like, "Oh gosh, my numbers were lower today. Does that mean they, like, stopped liking me?"
Hmm.
It's like,
Yeah,
"Whoa,
and that also affects
whoa."
you directly your paycheck because like, oh, now I'm not getting as much people trying to involve in my content, or even Twitch is gonna have less ad revenue. Then I'm like, oh, you're getting impacted financially as well. So it's a really like
It's
smack you in the face twice.
It's a really tangled web because you wanna just have fun and you wanna not have to worry about it, but when it is your sole income, you do
Mhm.
have to worry about it somewhat, and I've seen posts from several people actually who I've, like, seen on Twitter who were streamers, they went full-time, and then they actually stopped being full-time to get a job because they couldn't handle it
Mm,
because there's so much uncertainty in it,
mm,
and it is really stressful, and I think the only reason I'm having an easier time with it is because I was already an actor, which is
mhm.
the most uncertain, and because I'm an actor, streaming really, really, really helps for my schedule. If I get an audition, I don't have to ask anyone permission to go to it, you know?
Mhm.
I go. I apologize, I push back a stream, everyone wishes me good luck, and I go, and it's amazing, and I love that.
Yeah, that was not so easy. I was used to work in the Silicon Valley, up in NorCal,
Mhm.
and there's so many events or photo shoot I have to go. So I have to keep telling my boss like, so yeah, I need to be sick on Thursday, or I need to be sick in about 3 weeks, the same weekend as WonderCon. Just FYI, and that was making it more and more difficult. So
Yeah.
the only good thing, the upside being a content creator is some sort of flexibility, some sort,
Yes.
sometimes
Yeah.
is, but it definitely does not mean you work less. It definitely you work more to make up for
Yeah.
that flexibility.
It's true, and gosh, it's so funny with everything. I feel this pressure from now with TikTok being such a huge thing.
Are you doing TikTok?
I am on TikTok. I do not put very much effort into TikTok though. I am
Mm,
on it, but but that's the thing. I'm like, man, if I had more space for this, I could be so creative and I could come up with really funny stuff. But I'm spent like between the streaming and
mhm,
podcasting and the other content. I don't have any more creative capacity left for TikTok. I'm just like, I
mhm.
can't do it. I can't. I'm like, I know I could be really funny on here, but I can't do it.
I felt like I was also more creative back then when I have more freedom, like no financial
Yeah.
burden, it's more time, and I realized why kids are more funny or have like more creative is because you don't have to worry about paying your bills or paying
Yeah.
rent. Now, how much free time you have in your mind, you can do so much more stuff. Like the
Yeah.
stress free can make you so much more creative.
It's true, it's true. And, like yeah, and I feel like I'll have, like, flashes of creativity, you know, when you're relaxed and when you have the time. Yeah, if TikTok had been around when I was when I was in college, I
Mhm.
would've I
Oh, I
would've
would have.
gone
Yep.
ham, like, all out on that,
Every
but
day come back from class, that's all I do for hours. It's actually feel more productive too than playing games if I
maybe,
was doing that.
yeah. Yeah, because 'cause you're, like, making a video
Yeah.
and it's interesting, and I'm just kinda you know what it does for me? It makes me think every once in a while, I'm like, "Wow, look at all these really creative people all over
Hmm.
the world who didn't have an outlet for it before, and now they have an
Yeah.
outlet." And I just kind of feel really happy for them. I'm like,
Hmm.
"You you get to be creative in a way that, like, even a few years ago wasn't possible for you, and you
And that's
didn't think you could
one
be
good side
funny."
of having internet.
Mhm.
And some people get also people are just, not only they can't show it, it's that maybe the culture where they are it's not acceptable, or their
Yeah.
friend circle, whatever. But then now they believe the internet, they'll be like, oh, we actually have people that give you validation for like, oh, something I do actually people care.
Yeah, yeah. It's a double-edged sword, but
Very double edged.
I definitely think I'm definitely glad that there are people who like, you know, who would have never f- wanted to be actors or do this or do that, but they have that creative spark.
Hmm.
But there was no like they weren't gonna like go film their own short film, but they can go
Hmm.
film this crazy little TikTok sketch and it fulfills that. And so hopefully it makes for happier humans. I don't know.
TikTok is like the opposite of voice acting. Lots of videos because you're not doing the voiceover, you're doing the look
The
over.
lip sync. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're just lip
exactly.
syncing it. Yeah.
That's
You know,
great. Yeah, I don't know. I tried it, but it's not really. I don't know. It's
I follow Kate on there. I follow her.
my my things that I like. I thought would do really well. Did not do well at all. Things
Oh
that I thought
yeah.
was dumb did so well. There's some videos that I have has 2 million, 3 million views, and it's the
Yeah.
dumbest video. I'm kind of like, what? It's,
It doesn't make sense. It
it
truly
doesn't make
doesn't.
sense. Yeah.
So
But it's just that,
there's that.
it's a double-edged sword, right? Sometimes like you feel like, oh, things that you think you would like, that you feel like, oh, I'm proud of this, and nope, nobody likes it. And
Mhm.
kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, just a dump on my heart. That's fine. Actually,
No. I put so much time and energy into this, but that's fine. Okay,
that's
bye.
cool. That's cool. Whatever. I mean, hopefully that's not how it's like someday when I become a parent. It's like I spent so much time and energy on this kid, and people is like, we don't like this kid. It's like, I can't really make another one.
No, I'm sure it'll work out that way. I think TikTok is a much more Wild West kind of world than
Hmm.
parenting in it. Well,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, we controlled by algorithm. Have you actually, speaking of double edge, like, have you been disadvantaged because you like being a voice actor, especially for video games? Do people like I feel, I'm not sure, but just random. Like, do people make fun of you or pick on you on that, or everything's
No,
okay, great?
most people want advice from me, and I'm like, listen, I'm still trying to get my second job, so I'm
Mm.
not quite the person you should come to for advice.
So, not saying you personally, I'm saying me personally. Like, a lot of us looks like we're doing great. I look like, I was talking to my friends. Like, I always have to ask my friends, like, how am I doing? How is Martin Wong Photo doing in your mind? They're like, no, he's great. He's doing great. It's like, oh, okay. Because in my head, it's like, I'm not doing great. I'm not sure what I'm doing. But everyone's like, oh, no, you do all this, and that. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess I do all those stuff, but that's just work. But like, no, you're doing great. So, like, okay, okay.
Yeah, that whole idea that social media is where people show their best of album, it's the best of.
Mhm.
And I feel like Twitter is where everyone complains about everything in between. You go to Instagram for the
Yeah.
best of and Twitter for the worst of.
And then Facebook's somewhere in between, where you have
Ah,
friends,
I don't even
also
go on there. Facebook is where all our parents are now.
racist family, family
Yeah.
member, you know. There's always that one uncle, and it's like, okay. I mean, I get it. I get it. It was a different time. You were born in a different time, and like I get it, but we can't say that anymore, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't really mess with Facebook anymore. I just kind of check it once a week and then bounce.
that sounds about right. Anyway, you should also come over sometimes to get drinks with us.
To get what?
To get drinks with us, like we should drink
Yes, I
sometimes.
would love to.
Yeah,
Um I
I
was
feel.
I joined Kate on one of her recent streams. I still have one of her cosplays I need to get back to her.
Mm, yeah, come over sometime.
And I really she introduced me to the wonderful world of hot pot, and I'm
Oh
obsessed
my
now.
god, don't
I'm
say that. Now I want
obsessed.
hot pot.
I'm
Hot
sorry,
pot is
but
amazing.
it's so
There's
good. I did not know it was a thing, and it is so good.
Did you go wait, which one did you go with her? Which place?
When she was living in the old
Down
apartment
there, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that one was
at
awesome.
the
Yeah.
mall, yeah.
That one was great. I went there with her too, but there's so many good ones up here too.
Yeah,
So when this is
I
all over,
100% when we can socialize, I'm coming up to
yeah,
hang for drinks and
yeah,
hot pot.
definitely. Let's do it. But do I become an alcoholic? Like I'm
No,
yeah. No,
no.
not exactly. Like every time I go out to buy toilet paper, I end up having buying beer and alcohol instead.
Well, but do you also
Like
get toilet paper?
no, they ran out. So
Oh.
I keep going out and trying to buy toilet paper, and I keep coming back with cases and cases of beer.
Oh god.
Like last night, I was drinking Whole Garden, and then I was drinking Guinness. I also have like a box of Heinekens. I even got White Claw. Like
I even got White Claw!
I know I like this. I mean, I just it White Claw is just water with a little bit of alcohol with some. It's like lacrosse, but
It is.
a little bit rebellious. And the same with
Rebel
yeah. It's like,
It's
ooh,
LaCroix that got spicy.
edgy, and it's not even like here's the thing, like even lacrosse, it's like the lime flavor, and the favorite thing I saw online is that they're not even like that fruit flavor. It's like, oh, it's not really lime. It's more like a hint of lime. It's like
Those memes are really funny.
I love those memes.
Uh, my fiance is actually like obsessed with LaCroix. He's like addicted. He
I
goes,
feel like you don't love it or you don't really care for it.
"It's true. You love it or you hate it.
Yeah,
It's very divisive, that
yeah.
LaCroix."
Yeah, I don't know why. And like my favorite meme is that it's also someone saying like, "Oh, it's like someone screaming the name of a fruit in another room,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
while
yeah,
you're drinking
yeah.
some water." It's like, oh
Or
yeah,
like someone described a fruit to someone and then they tried to make it a flavor.
imagine. Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what White Claw is. That's with like that's more sparkling and some alcohol. You actually get more hydrated drinking White Claw than compared to most
Right.
alcohol.
Right,
Yeah,
then. That's what a benefit. What a
yeah.
benefit.
Hell,
I've
hydrate.
I have drank it, I've had some wine, more wine than normal, because we're doing, like, hangouts, like, we did a Jackbox hangout night, and I
Mm.
was, like, drinking wine, and, um, my friend's birthday was yesterday, and so tonight, we're gonna, like, hang out and, like, have some drinks and, like, dance, like, on Zoom.
Wait, you doing it
Again,
remotely?
buy stocks in Zoom, guys, everyone's using it.
Wow. Yeah, like I definitely need to. Let's hopefully when all this over, I don't become an alcoholic.
No,
Uh,
you'll be fine. You're already aware. You're fine. I worked at a whiskey bar for 2.5 years.
huh.
Listen,
Tell me about that. Like I want to let
you'll
you go,
know.
but I really want to hear about this whiskey bar.
Oh, yeah. So you live downtown,
Uh
right?
huh.
So I worked at 7 Grand.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I know where
So
that is. Yeah, I've
yeah,
been up
it's
there.
on 7th and Grand.
Yeah. Wait, is that the one that also have the antler, the little room, the room?
Yes, that's where I worked. I worked in Bar Jackalope.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
So
I've
I
been
worked.
there.
Yeah, it's
I
really
have a
nice.
few friends that have some nice bottles in there.
Mm, I miss
Yeah.
it. I do miss it. So I worked for a little under a year. They had like a front greeter at at the top of the stairs, just greeting people. And I worked that job for a while. They got rid of that job, but they wanted to keep me, so they moved me into Bar Jackalope, which,
Mm.
for anyone listening, it's 7 Grand is a bar that has a large whiskey selection, and then inside the bar is a private room for people in groups of 4 or less for you to do whiskey tastings and whiskey education. And there's no other alcohol back there except besides whiskey. There's only three mixed cocktails, and it's just a lot of fun. The people that work back there have a lot of knowledge. They'll tell you all about the whiskeys, all about whatever you want to know. So
It's really cool that room because it feel like, especially now, it feel like if they're open, it's like a speakeasy inside speakeasy.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
even that bar is like a second floor, second story, so I have to
it's
go
on the
up
second
there.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's usually quieter back there. There's seating. It's just a
Mhm.
much chiller experience. I learned so much about whiskey while working there. I grew to love whiskey while working there.
I'm
Um,
so bad with whiskey. Every time someone teach me something, I keep forgetting, but I feel like, oh yeah, I know this is
it's
good.
hard.
It's
It took
hard.
me a long time to retain a lot of stuff, and I was actually trying to think. I was thinking about whiskey the other day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the different regions they're from. There's the lowlands, the highlands. Oh my god, I forgot the other 2. Oh my god, I forgot the other 2. I was ashamed of myself. I had to look up Speyside and
What
Iowa.
is a good whiskey then? Like, what is that? How do you define a whiskey as being good?
Listen, it's all about you. Everyone's taste buds are different. So there is no like, this is the end all be all of whiskey because they're all so different. They offer different things. Someone might love smoky scotches and like their favorite whiskey is like an Ardbeg, but someone else hates smoky and likes more gentle stuff and their favorite is like, I don't know, Green Spot, which is an Irish whiskey. So it's
Mm.
just what you like, what you prefer, your personal preferences are.
And then you also have to learn about like Japanese whiskey as well, and that's like a
Mhm.
whole different thing.
I didn't because I worked the front door and then I worked as the apprentice. So it was basically like the quote unquote bartender. I would pour the drinks and I would make the 3 cocktails we served.
Mhm.
So I didn't talk to people too much about whiskey, but I learned a fair amount while working there. Um, but it is hard to retain stuff. I don't know much about Japanese whiskey other than it's really popular right now. Um,
Well, now we're back in the Roaring 20, and we're not allowed to have bars and restaurant. I
it's
wonder,
true.
are we back to speakeasy now?
I have so much whiskey from working there because uh w- we would there would be like monthly no they would do a thing where it was like if I forget the term they would use, but it was basically like bartender of the quarter, like
Mm,
bartender of the last 3 months, and you would vote, and they would do it between the main bar and us. And if you won, you would get to
mhm.
pick out any of the
The
like
bottles.
any of the why am I forgetting the term? Not house bottles, but we have a barrel. We had a
Mm,
special barrel program with a bunch of different distilleries where people from our bar went, picked out a certain barrel. That whole barrel was bottled for just our bar and put in our bar, only to get and be served at our bar. And we would get to pick one of those to take home.
okay.
So
Have
I
you been
have
to the
like several of those.
Have you been to the Ghost Distillery in the Art District?
No, no, I
So my
haven't.
friend and I went there because it was his birthday. But why is it called Ghost or something? It's very interesting. They have this new method to make whiskey. They make a whiskey in about 7 days.
Are they the ones that play the music?
They did a whole thing like a music. I guess music is one of it. It's a whole rye kind of thing too. Like
Oh,
you
you're
can
saying
pour it.
Lost Spirits. Lost
Sorry,
Spirits
Lost Spirit. That's
Distillery.
the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't been there, but I've known
Hmm.
about it for years and I've wanted to go for a very long time. I
It's
just haven't
interesting
gotten there.
because like the whole thing that they have is that they can make whiskey in 7 days. Like I can tell
Mm,
it doesn't taste exactly like traditional whiskey. Like, I
mhm.
feel like it's not 100% there, but it's still amazing how
Yeah.
much they can accomplish in a 7 days period to make it to almost like a few years old barrel.
Yeah.
So,
That's it. Are they I know there's distilleries that like play music to vibrate the whiskey. Are they one of those or
oh
are they
no,
doing
no, they're like doing like lab and science. They do all sciencey
Oh,
stuff.
sciencey stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like a distillery out there that like has giant boom boxes all throughout their distillery and they like play music at a certain decibel that like vibrates the whiskey in a certain way to like age it faster. It's crazy.
I mean, I guess like I wonder if it's different, like different kind of song, like Mozart's versus
I
Bach.
don't know. I don't know what they're using. I don't know what they're using.
Well, anyway, I don't want to keep you forever because just
Thank you.
oh man, 'cause we can talk about this forever.
I
Um,
can. I really can talk about whiskey for a very long
right.
time.
I didn't know like that was the thing. Like all the things like okay, I guess I'm gonna talk to her a lot about voice acting because that's her thing. And then I suddenly said, oh yeah, I might become an alcoholic. It's like whiskey. Have I tell you about whiskey,
Surprise!
Martin?
I have a lot of whiskey knowledge. It's my party trick, having whiskey knowledge.
Okay, when this is all over, I'm coming over too. I'm gonna try some whiskey that you have.
All
Okay.
right, let's do it.
All right. For everyone that's listening, where can we find you?
You can find me at Dayeanne Hutton on Twitter, YouTube, and do I have anything else in there? Twitter and YouTube, and then Dabraham underscore Lincoln on Instagram and Twitch. And then my
Abraham.
podcast is Gaming N as in Nancy Gabbing on Instagram, Twitch. Oh, not Twitch, Instagram and Twitter. And yeah. Okay.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I mean, I had a great time.
Yes,
Let's hang
it
out
was
more.
wonderful
It is
chat.
over. And chat, thank you so much for joining. And you guys all very lovely. So
Thank you guys.
have a great night. See y'all later. Bye.